Hello, my name is Hannah Myers, and my presentation will be over drug metabolism. So the definition of drug metabolism is the chemical alteration of drugs inside of the body. So with that being said, what do drugs do inside of our bodies? Well, drugs can change into other compounds by being metabolized by enzymes in the liver, or they can leave the body practically unchanged, usually through the kidneys. Most drugs are lipid soluble. This means that it is difficult for some drugs to leave the body, and they are also capable of dissolving in lipids, fats, and oils. The overall aim of a drug is to produce a more water-soluble compound that can be excreted through urine or bile. The main sites that metabolism occur in are the gut wall, the lungs, the liver, the kidney, and plasma. The liver is the most metabolically active tissue and is responsible for the majority of drug metabolism. Hepatic metabolism is the principal state of metabolism in the liver. Cytochrome P450 is very important in the process of drug metabolism, and it is responsible for binding and metabolizing drugs. So, there are two phases of metabolism. In the first phase, the reactions are oxidation, reduction, and hydrolysis. Oxidation is the most common reaction, while reduction takes place under anaerobic conditions, and what that means is that there is a presence of free oxygen. So hydrolysis is the final reaction of phase 1, and it is known for its so-called half-life. The reactions of phase 2 are glucuronidation and sulfation. Glucuronidation is a major route of metabolism and allows excursion through the liver and the kidneys, while sulfation is responsible for the toxicity. So the societal impacts. The metabolism of a drug can have important consequences on its therapeutic effect and toxicity. For this reason, metabolic pathways in man help to foresee which individuals should get what specific kind of drug or type of drug, or the dose of a drug. This also helps doctors with drug selection, which avoids the risk of potential drug interactions. Certain drug interactions can be fatal or have negative side effects. So an example of this would be cannabis or weed and alcohol mixed together. So I will go through more of that later in the presentation. So the first human study of drug metabolism occurred in 1841. They found that hippuric acid could be isolated from the urine after the ingestion of benzoic acid. And the first metabolic interaction between drugs was reported by Hoffman in 1877. He found that quinine could decrease the formation of hippuric acid from benzoic acid. And on the right here, we have an image of hippuric acid crystals that were found in the urine. Axelrod and Estabrook found that the liver red pigment performed the function of hepatic drug metabolizing oxyreductase. This is a constitutive enzyme that is localized in the plasma membrane. The pigment was characterized as a cytochrome by Amora and Sato in 1960s. So the factors that affect drug metabolism are physiological and pathological factors, and these can either increase or decrease the rate of metabolism. So the physiological factors can include age, sex, or if the person or individual is pregnant. An example of this would be the fact that drugs are metabolized more slowly in elders. The pathological factors include liver disease, heart failure, and kidney disease. So an example of this would be the fact that cigarette smoking can speed up your metabolism and grapefruit juice can delay metabolism. So it's important to know which drugs interact because it could result in toxic drug levels when treating patients. So now we're getting into the factors of cannabis. So cannabis is one of the oldest and most commonly abused drugs in the world. Its use is associated with the pathological and behavioral toxicity. So smoking, which is the principal route of cannabis administration, provides a rapid and efficient method of drug delivery from the lungs into the brain. It is intense, pleasurable, and strongly reinforcing effects may be produced due to the almost immediate drug exposure to the central nervous system. So it's very rapid. So here's are some factors of the cannabis. So factors such as the number, duration, the spacing of puffs that you take, and hold time, they all greatly influence the degree of drug exposure. Although alcohol is not a prescription drug, it is still a drug. So researchers have found that alcohol may increase THC levels immediately after smoking. However, the effects seem to diminish pretty soon afterwards. But more research needs to be done to fully understand the interactions of cannabis with these drugs. In conclusion, there are far more interesting facts about drug metabolism, as well as many drugs that still need more research on. But as time passes, there will be more research done, and this will give us better understanding and more knowledge on what drugs are actually doing inside of our bodies. And here are my references. Thank you for listening. If you have any other questions, you can refer back to these references or you can personally email me. Thank you.